This is Stu's Wrestling Podcast all the way from the UK. We are part of the Sport Social Podcast Network, Europe's largest sports podcast network, 450 shows and counting. And waiting in the wings, a man who has recently been in the UK on a tour. He's real, he's raw. It's Mr. August Artois.
That's me. That's me. How are you, my friend?
Very, very well. How was the UK tour, first and foremost? You've only got back yesterday, back in the US. How was it for you?
Yeah, and that's how important I want you to realize how important you are to me, because I should be fucking sleeping right now, but I'm not. But because, in my heart right now, it's still 4:30.
I appreciate this. You could be slightly tired, but it's all good. I appreciate you coming on. How was World Association of Wrestling? Because you had a couple of nights there, so yeah, I'd like to ask you about that. How were the matches for you over here?
World Association of Wrestling, one of the most respected companies in the UK, one of the most famous companies in all of UK, as everybody knows. Paige and her brother, both successful professional wrestlers, came from there. Their family runs that company very well, may I add. Very old school company. When you get there, it's not, come on in and do what the fuck you want to do. There's rules you got to follow. And if you don't follow them, you will be dealt with properly. Seen it firsthand. But it's very old school. That's my cat back there. There's producers. Let me start off with the quality of entertainment. When you walk back, there's like 15 screens. I forgot the dude's name, which whatever. I met a lot of fucking people. There's like 15 screens. There's monitors. There's music. He made me a custom entrance video right on the spot. Like, chef's kiss with WAW. It was awesome working with them. So the first night I got to wrestle Drew Marshall. He's from Scotland, and we had a pretty tough battle. I did not come out on top with that one. That kid's got no one warned me that this kid, I guess his finish is the Glasgow kiss, which is a fucking headbutt. Nobody warned me that, so I picked the kid up in the corner and I gave him a headbutt, and it didn't really faze him much, but it got me. And that was pretty much all downhill from there. Then the next night I fought a guy named Johnny Storm. Never heard of him, but I kicked his fucking ass, dropped his neck on the edge of my knee, and 1, 2, 3. So right then and there, I'm 1-1 at WAW. So when I come back, I'm willing to take on any and everybody. And I'm even willing to bring these bad boys to put on the line to make it even a little more interesting.
The gold, it always looks better, doesn't it, when you got a bit, got some gold on you.
Absolutely.
I was going to ask as well. You're up in Scotland. There's a good image here of you up in Scotland as well. I'll pipe that in. So yeah, up to Scotland with the gold.
Premier British Wrestling. But let me tell you what, man, their accents sound like I jammed a hot dog in my mouth and just tried to just continue to talk. I mean, the referees are throwing me out there. 1, 2. What the hell's a 2? I couldn't stand it. And their food was terrible. And all there is just green landscapes of mountains, and people would call it beautiful landscapes. I want to see billboards and titty bar next 15 miles and shit like that. Scotland didn't have that for me, but Premier British Wrestling, I will say, was the loudest crowd I have ever worked for in my entire life. I'm sitting there trying to think to myself, how am I going to take this kid down? Logan Smith is their guy, fan favorite. And I'm talking who's John Cena fan favorite. This kid is over like Rover, and they sure wanted that kid to win. I'm pretty sure they're going to release it. If they don't release it, I'll release it myself. But I will say, he thought he beat me for the title, but I went and got the principal of the school that we were wrestling at, and we started the match over. And as you see, I got the title here with me. But Logan Smith, one hell of a competitor, Premier British Wrestling. in Scotland, the loudest crowd. Like those, my buddy was at the merch table. His ears were bleeding. It was so damn loud in that crowd. Great show, though, I will say.
Props to them because you're wrestling in America predominantly. So if you're saying the crowd was amazing, that's high praise.
Oh, dude, American crowds suck. Don't fucking put me in that category of liking these sons of bitches. Crowds in America are dog shit, except for I have a small selected fans, but they suck. Here's my best way of explaining it. When you come to America and wrestle, say you're in Florida, the fans pay their $10, $15, $20 to come, and they sit there and go, entertain me. While when you're in the UK, these motherfuckers are, before the show even starts, you can hear them in the locker room chanting different, sports teams chants or just getting rowdy and talking and getting loud and getting ready for the show. Like if it was up to me, I would trade. If I could only work in one, either the UK or the US, I'd pick the UK hands down.
That's amazing for us, and testament to our fans and our promotions over here. You are due back later on in the year as well, aren't you? Do you? Yeah,
we'll see if I decide to keep coming. Right as I was there, in the moment, I was like, I'll come back in October. We'll see because the food sucks, the weather sucks. The beautiful women are ugly. The ugly women are fucking ugly. The men are they all think they're tough, but they're really fucking not. It's just not. It's not a good place for me to be. The milk is delicious, though. The milk is delicious. Your guys' cows are fucking blah.
I know you love milk, actually, because I did some research. I listened to another episode. I know you're hot on milk, which I've never had a guest who's been hot on milk before, and I've done over 170 episodes now, August.
Yeah, Paige's brother actually called me out when I was there, but in a good way. I'm sitting there with a half gallon of milk, straight vertical down the throat, and he's like, "Yeah, that's a fucking proper American right there, getting my protein for the day. Got to drink my milk, dude. I drink a gallon of milk a day. Like when I was over there, I stayed at my buddy's house. His refrigerator was just filled of fucking. What do you guys have, like the liters or the half liters?
Yeah, we're on liters and pints. Yeah.
Yeah, so we had all those little skinny ones. I ate hundreds of them in his refrigerator. I have to have my milk.
I've never. You won on your own with that because I've not heard another wrestler glorify.
But dude, like here's the crazy thing. Like I could walk up to somebody and tell them like, "Hey, I suck dick for crack," and they'd be like, "Oh, okay." But I tell people I drink a gallon of milk a day, and they're like, "What? What's the matter with you? That's ridiculous. There's something wrong with you." Like, fuck off. Everybody thinks I have most people say when they drink milk they'll be gassy, but I don't understand that. All it does for me is it just keeps me fucking jacked all the time. Ice cold fucking milk, dude. I mean, what's better? It's like a drink and a snack all at the same time.
I was going to ask you as well. You had copious amounts of Star Bars, Cadbury Star Bars, and not just the singular ones. They were duos, and I like Star Bars. So how were they?
Dude, hold on 1 second.
Have you brought some back? He's brought some back, hasn't he? He's brought some of the goods back with him to the States. I know he has. We're just waiting for him to come back on camera here.
Dude.
He's got the goods.
These are just some of them. Look at that. These are just some of them.
That's quite a haul of chocolate. I'm surprised because normally you say our chocolate candy, as you call it over there, is crap, but you obviously like ours.
Dude, that's the one thing you guys got going for you. I don't know why Cadbury doesn't treat us the same way, man. I'm pretty sure we have a Cadbury over here, but they don't. God, I got Star Bars everywhere, man. I'm just gonna start calling myself Star Bartois. August Star Bartois.
It rolls off the tongue. That does.
It really does.
Absolutely. That's perfect. That is absolutely perfect.
The best way to explain it to any Americans that are fucking listening, or anybody who hasn't been to the UK that has been to the US, it's like a Twix mixed with a Snickers mixed with a Reese's, and those are the fucking best candy bars. A Twix mixed with a Snickers mixed with a Reese's. Eat it. Star Bar. And the thing is, I'm here in Fort Myers, Florida, and we have a British shop. Some dickhead from Britain came over here and he opened up his little shop, and he has all the candies from Britain. So I went there. Guess what? They got every fucking candy bar you guys got, except for Star Bar.
He'll be able to source them for you.
I could go sell them to him for fucking twice the price.
Absolutely. Yes, you could. Yes, you
Sitting
could.
outside like a drug dealer.
Now, you came into wrestling late on, didn't you? I thought you'd been around a lot longer than you have been.
Yeah, everybody thinks that. Everybody thinks that because I'm so successful and so good.
And you moved to Florida, didn't you? Obviously, because there's that many promotions there. I know you're obviously from Cleveland originally, aren't you? So you moved to the hotbed that is Florida. And yeah, just crazy how quick it's gone for you. But talent is talent. I'm not blowing smoke up your arse here. You know, talent always prevails.
I mean, you're telling the truth, and that's what a lot of guys here in Florida, like, they'll start supporting me, and the other guys in Florida will be like, "Oh, stop sucking his dick, dude. Get off his balls." You're not really on my dick or on my balls. You're literally reading facts. I've been in this business for 43 fucking months. I've had 2 successful UK tours. I'm in a music video with over 2 million views. I've been on multiple promotions. I've been at 14 states across the country. I held one of the most prestigious titles in all of fucking independent wrestling. I'm doing really well for myself.
What about Puerto Rico as well? Because that's coming up, and you were contacted directly by Savio Vega, the legend.
Don't remind me, dude. No, it wasn't Savio. It wasn't Savio Vega. It was. I mean, he works for that company, but It was IWA because they realized I'm such a fucking draw. But dude, don't remind me that I got to go to Puerto Rico. I'll be wearing gloves, a mask, hand sanitizer. Those fucking dirty ass people.
You got to do what you got to do, though, haven't you?
I hate Puerto Rico. Man, I don't want anything to do with. I was telling somebody today. They're like, "Oh, here you go. Here you go. Now you got to come to Puerto Rico." I said, "I don't fucking want to. I'd rather go to the UK and eat your guys' shit potatoes than go to the Puerto Rico. I'd rather stay here at my house with my beautiful cat. Look at her. Look at her little ears back there. How cute she is. I'd rather stay here with her all day than go to Puerto Rico or even the UK."
I'm going to pump the graphic in anyway. Because here we go. It will be.
Oh, you better put the graphic in. I'm getting paid.
There you go. So it will be on television there as well. And I'm sure you will get footage for us as well on your socials. And you might enjoy it once you're there, you know.
What graphic did you put up? Because I can't see. Did you put up my opponent?
It's just the IWA Puerto Rico one with you with the title.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. John Hawking is the guy I'm facing. His name, John Hawking. My man is what he says. Big dumb son of a bitch. He's like 3 times the size of me, but he's a dumb son of a bitch, and I'm going to knock the shit out of him. And then as soon as I'm done, as soon as I pull my foot out of his ass, I'm getting on the first flight back to America.
Business will
Star Bar, man. Let me tell you what. Look at that.
Yeah, right on camera. Look at that for the Americans, because obviously the Brits are accustomed to these. But yeah, I'm glad.
Dude, but the thing is, like when I got to the one company, Target Wrestling, shout out Target Wrestling, one of the most loving, kind, caring companies out there. As soon as I get there, they give me a box full of the fucking Star Bar duos. And I'm handing them out to my buddies in the locker room. And they're like, "Oh man, I've never tried a Star Bar." I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You lived here your whole life? You've never tried a Star Bar?" And they ate it and they went, "Oh my fucking God." And they said, "This is the perfect scran," which you know what scran means, right?
Of course. You know. The youngsters call it that. I just call it food. But yeah, I think the youngsters here think they're hip saying scram. I won't say scram personally. I'll just go with food. But yeah, you know.
The first time I'm there, my buddy goes, "Hey, you want to go grab some scran?" I was like, "What's scran?" He goes, "Well, I don't know. It's just, it's scran." I said, "Well, that's a good way to fucking explain it by using the fucking word in the description. What's scran?" He goes, "I don't know, man. It's just kind of like something you eat." I go, "Food?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Then let's just go get some fucking food."
I've got to ask you as well, you know, you getting your start in the business, how long were you training? I know you were in very, very quickly.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. I've heard different times of people, you know, from training to first match. 2 weeks and you were in there.
14 days, like, you know, spaced out on a Monday, a Wednesday, on a Friday, and then a Monday, and then a Friday. 14 full days, 2 weeks until I had my first match. And then, I mean, what's the fucking point of training after that? I'm obviously already awesome.
Where were you training? Where were
At the WWN TC, and my head trainer Francisco Chiazzo, God rest his soul, he actually passed away on my first UK tour. As soon as I got to the UK, I get a phone call that he died. Fucking stupid son of a bitch. Yeah, I'll see him again one day. Don't worry, I'm gonna give him a fucking stiff pile driver, right through the clouds. But yeah, Francisco Chiazzo, man, I had the best trainer in the entire world. Especially this day and age. Like when I first started, I was getting a lot of fucking heat from promoters. Like, hey, I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but you better dial it back a notch, or you're not gonna get booked. And fucking my coach was like, tell them to suck your fucking dick. And the first thing my coach asked me, he goes, do you want to be a superstar or do you want to be an indie guy? I was like, fuck it, I want to be a superstar. And he was like, cool, follow me. So he taught me a hip toss and how to do an arm drag and how to do a body slam. And then he taught me where the hard cam is going to be, where the roam cam is going to be, and where the fucking the photographers will be if they're going to be there. Get your fucking beauty shots. He taught me. We already got the people sitting in the crowd. We already got their fucking money, so sell to the fucking cameras. So that's where you get your thumbnails and you're fucking selling to the other audiences on streaming services and this and that. Don't get me wrong, you still got to sell to the crowd, but you get what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Taught me how to be a fucking star, and he tells everybody. Well, he did tell everybody because he's passed on now, but he would tell everybody that he taught me those basic things. He put his hand in the middle of my back and he pushed me, and I fucking went whee, started flying. No stopping me. Absolutely no fuck. There wasn't any stopping me then. And I feel like now that he's passed on, there's absolutely no stopping me now because I just got to keep making that fucker proud.
I'd say what as well, when you were coming in, COVID was happening, wasn't it? How were bookings and stuff for you at that time? To anybody, it'd be a bad time, but I know certain states in America were open. So where were you getting booked initially? Where were the bookings?
What happened was WWNTC, we also do our own shows as well, Proving Ground, and we had them every Tuesday. So once you graduated from training, you got to start doing Proving Ground shows. So we were doing the Proving Ground shows, and we were able to run at 50%.
Right.
We only sold the two sides of the ring anyways, so that was half capacity or whatever. But I was up in Ohio, sitting on the couch, fucking following the general's orders and shit. And my brother was down here doing extra work for WWE, and he was a referee. And then he did as the extra, he was a ninja, a fucking nurse, a fucking doctor, and all that shit. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go down there and do the same fucking thing. And I did. And I thought it was going to be really hard. I thought it was going to be a hard business to break into, and it wasn't. It was probably the fucking easiest thing I've ever done in my entire life. It's like going out to get the mail in the morning. Like it was that easy breaking into this business. And then I realized it's a dick measuring contest business. And the more you don't give in to the dick measuring, you just pull your dick out, slap it on the fucking table, and just shut everybody down. It's that kind of business. This isn't the kind of business of like, hey man, you work out, you look good, and you're really talented, you're gonna get a push. It's not that business. It's a fucking dog eat dog type business, and it's a fucking shark in a shark infested. It's a shark in shark infested water type business, and I'm not going to be the one to get eaten. I'm the one that's eating people. If any of that fucking makes sense, it makes sense to me, and that's all.
It's loud and clear to me. Absolutely. Dog eat dog. That is what I'm taking away from that. Who would you like to get in the ring with? Are there any guys that you'd like to pit your wits against in the squared circle?
No, I'm not a fucking fanboy or anything like that. I don't jerk off and watch other people's matches. If I could step in the ring with anybody, it'd be me, because I'm fucking amazing. And I'd love to step in the ring with somebody that gives and cares as much as I do about a singular match, whether it be, an opening exhibition or a main event title match. I'd love to step in the ring with somebody like me. That'd be fucking awesome.
August, Mac Davis, who's a friend of mine, Mad Mac Davis, August Artois. We have butted heads in the past, but he is a very gifted talent. From Mac Davis, who I know very well.
Yeah, Mac Davis is a great guy. great ring announcer, great Georgia talent, I'd say so. We butted heads in the past. I guess it wasn't important enough for me to remember. But cheers, Mac Davis.
Are we? When he says butted heads, it wasn't a Glasgow kiss again, was it, or like the American version?
I don't know what that would be. I don't know. What be the no, I'm saying I don't know what his would be. Then it would be the.
Oh right, okay.
The Georgia smooch.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Cheers for that, Mac. Lewis Young up in Falkirk in Scotland. Obviously, been up in Scotland recently, and he's asked, "Have you been to Scotland?"
Obviously, I just fucking said that I was in Scotland, dipshit. I was in Scotland at W3L, and I was in Scotland at Premier British Wrestling. We just covered that. Pay fucking attention. Who asked that question? Smack the shit out of him.
He might have came in late in his defense.
I'm gonna came in his face.
Oh bloody hell! What age were you when you did wrestling training? I didn't ask how old you were. If you wanted
30.
He was 30.
When I started, everyone's like, "Oh man, you're way too old to start wrestling." I was like, "Cool." And I'm being told this by fucking guys that are like in their mid 20s with 4 kids and 2 ex-wives and 1 fat one at home. I don't take advice from anybody. I'm incomparable. I'm the kind of guy that has paved his own path and has taken it. And I don't think. I guess that's a good question, but I think it's a stupid question too because age obviously doesn't matter. Look at who's on top right now in the business. They're all in their fucking 40s.
They are. Look at DDP. He did it years ago.
He started at what, 38?
Yeah, he was 38 when he came in. It's irrelevant.
Plus, I look beautiful. My mom's in her 70s and she looks like she's 50. So
I'm not gay, but you are a good-looking man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I will give you that. That's all you're getting from me. Like,
I'd fuck you too.
Bloody hell! That's Jesus. Wasn't
Star
expecting
bar.
that, was I? Yeah, you gotta get the Star bar in. You gotta keep eating them. You got loads to go with them. Also, listening to you on shows that you've done previously, you totally tuned out of wrestling, didn't you? You watched it for a certain amount of time, but then you stopped watching it, didn't you, years ago? As a fan.
Oh, yeah. When I was a kid, I used to watch it with Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, fucking Attitude Era. And then whenever Kane got Lita pregnant is when I stopped watching it. And then I started watching it again whenever AJ Styles fought Shane McMahon at WrestleMania. I don't know which one it was. I think it was 2017.
It was.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I watched, my brother was there, and he was like, turn on the network and watch, see if you can see me or whatever. I was like, all right, I guess I'll watch it. So I was like making music at the time, and I was turning back and looking at it, and I was like, this isn't too bad. This is actually pretty cool. So I started being a fan of it. And when NXT was on Wednesdays, the Undisputed Era, Velveteen Dream type era, I loved fucking watching it. I never really watched the main Raw and SmackDown. I loved watching NXT. And then I never, ever watched Impact. I never heard of fucking Impact. TNA, I never watched New Japan. I never watched anything at all. So, like, anything you see in the fucking ring, that's just shit that I have no fucking, what's the word I'm looking for? Inspiration. I have no inspiration from anything from 2001 on up to 2017. I have no inspiration from anything other than music and movies. And I feel like that's kind of what separates me from everybody in this business is I know how to go out there, grab each individual person, and they know how to go out there and then leaving the crowd fucking dumb, just sitting there with their fucking fingers in their ass. Like, what the hell what's going on out there? And then you have someone like me that comes out and gives every single person in that crowd every single penny's worth of that ticket they bought. Yeah. Like when I was at fucking W3L, he goes, "Hey man, I'm sorry. I didn't do my research." He goes, I thought that because you were an American, you were just going to be a face. I was like, I don't do that. I don't know what you're talking about. So he goes, "Well, I have you doing a meet and greet in the middle of the show." But if you don't want to do it, I was like, I'll go out there and do it. He goes, are you sure? I had a fucking line wrapped around that fucking ring of kids that wanted to, but I never broke fucking, I'm not in there fucking shaking hands and holding kids and smiling and taking pictures. I'm in there with fucking kids in headlocks and fucking taking kids' hats and throwing them out of the fucking ring and pushing kids over and tripping them and shit and taking guys' girlfriends and kissing them on the cheek. But that's what they wanted. That's what they got. And he was like, fucking hell, man. You just went out there and fucking did more than our top baby face would. That's just what I do, man. I give people, this is fucking professional wrestling. And my coach always told me, wrestling has very little to do with professional wrestling. And if you don't understand that, buy a fucking ticket to my next show.
Giving the punters bang for their buck. That's what it's all about.
The what?
Bang for their buck. Giving them the money.
Oh yeah. They're bang for their buck, mate. All right.
Yeah, I don't sound like I'm from London, but you can do that. You can do that if you want.
I thought I kind of went Australian a little there.
Yeah. Saying that, my friends from Birmingham, when they went to the States, an American came up to him in the elevator, and they thought he was from Australia, but he's from Birmingham. He's from the Midlands. Yeah, that was like, I was like, he's not from Australia.
That happened to Zach. That happened to Zach. He fucking, when he was in America, he was in Jacksonville working AEW. Someone's like, listen here, you fucking Australian. They said, go back to your country or something like that. And he's like, go back to Australia. Australia!
Thousands of miles away. Thousands of
fuck, dude, that's a flight that I would never want to take.
Really? What if you get booked there, though?
Then I'll cancel it. It'll be my first ever canceled booking. Right, and everybody knows I don't cancel bookings.
I've seen that on the social media, actually.
Yeah, that got me a lot of trouble. Dude, you should have seen some of the messages I got. People were like, "Hey, man, I know people are probably saying your mom should have aborted you, but I don't think she should have. I think she should have gave birth to you and then fucking killed you right then and there on the spot." I was like, "Cool, man. All this over not accepting an AEW Dark fucking spot." Wow. So then my therapist told me, maybe professional wrestling is not. Yeah, this shit's fucking great to me though. Professional wrestling is probably the funnest fucking thing I've ever done in my life. The easiest fucking thing I've ever done in my life. All you gotta do is look good and have a fucking personality. I've been doing that my whole life. So now I'm making money doing it, and I'm seeing the world. That's a pretty cool thing too.
You can't put a price on that. Take the wrestling out of it for a minute. Getting to travel and see places. I know you weren't a fan of Scotland. I know Scotland. You weren't digging the vibe there. That's fine. That's fine. But
no, I'm just kidding. It was nice.
You are getting to see the world. A lot of people do like the travel within the business. I've heard that.
Well, that's the thing is I did that before this though. Like when I was 16 years old, I was in a metal band and I toured 48 states across my country.
Wow.
And then after that, I went to 8 different countries on my own, including Iceland, Canada. I went down to all the different fucking bullshit islands and stuff. So I'm well traveled. And then that's why this like people are like, oh man, like I'll get guys booked 8 hours away from here in the next state, Georgia, where Mac Davis lives. That's not that far away, and I'll get guys booked there. As soon as we get to the hotel, they're on the fucking phone. Hey, baby, I miss you so much, and they're telling me, "Hey, man, as soon as the show's over, do you think we can just go home tonight instead of the morning? I really miss my kids." Fuck you guys. Like this business isn't for everybody, and it's for everybody to watch, but it's really not for everybody to be a part of. So like when I say I'm well traveled, I've been to the different countries and I traveled a lot on my own. I've been to Iceland 3 times by myself. So going to the UK, 8.5 hour flight, like that's nothing to me. A 12-hour drive or for instance, Newcastle up to Scotland and back, like that's 3-hour drive, 6-hour round trip. Like that's nothing to me. No, driving down to Norwich from Newcastle, that's nothing to me. Especially with
the size of your country over there, and how you have to get from A to B over there. Coming here, it's not that bad. It's not that bad, guys.
I mean, the company I'm champion of, STF Utah. That's a 4-hour flight, fucking just to go defend my title every time. Thank God I have one here in Florida.
When are you next with them? when you were in Utah?
June 8th against
Right.
Savio Vega.
Oh yes,
That son of a bitch.
he's still going. He's still going. He's still doing it.
Yeah, man.
Legend.
May 18th when I'm there in Puerto Rico, he's fighting a local group here, Controversial Inc., a tag team. Him and Miguel, Savio Vega and Miguel will be tagging up. I'm pretty sure it's Miguel. We'll be tagging up against them. So I mean, these guys aren't, and they're not out there fucking punches and fucking like, when you have like an old guy in a ring, they're fucking, they're out there fucking going, bleeding, fucking spitting fire. Like Savio's he's a fucking nut. He still looks like he did fucking in the 90s, and he still wrestles like he did in the 90s too. Like shit.
Oh my word.
Shut up.
My word.
Shut up.
It's getting, the tone was changing a little bit. I was just like, wow.
I don't give a fuck. I'm about to put my foot up his Puerto Rican ass.
We're talking about a legend here, August.
I don't give a fuck.
Well,
I'm gonna have a legend on the end of my foot.
Well, we'll see how it goes for you, because he's been doing it for many years.
Well, how about this then? I'll issue a challenge then, because I just told you I can't stand flying fucking 4 hours out to Utah. So how about this then? This is up to STF to fucking. I'll snap this out of your fucking podcast and I'll share it so STF can see this. How about this then? If Savio Vega wins, he can take this back to Puerto Rico. But if I win, I'm in control of STF, and the company has to shut down until further notice.
That's quite. Well, I don't know about that.
How about that? Because I'm sick of doing it, dude. I gotta. It's 5 hours ahead of time when I go to the UK. Then it's 3 hours behind time. Like, just give me a fucking break for a little bit. So if I win, when I win, I'm gonna shut the company down for at least a couple months until I can fucking until I can get back on my own sleep schedule.
The guys in the 70s and 80s were in Japan and then coming into America.
Fuck those losers.
And they were all over the show, man.
I have no respect for anybody in the 70s and 80s. It was fucking easy. It was easy to do it back then. Oh, dude. Fuck, dude, you had to go out there and work a bunch of fucking housewives and grandmas. Cool. Real fucking hard business you had back. And all they did was body slams and fucking punches and kicks. Fuck them.
You don't respect Flair, what Flair did in his heyday?
Who?
Ric Flair.
Oh, no, dude. Like, everyone says he's the greatest professional wrestler in the world. I think he gets the business very well, but he's not. He looks like dog shit. He's always looked like dog shit. He can't fucking wrestle. He oversells everything. Like, it's a different time. It's a different fucking era. I have no. People say you should go back and study the great 70s and 80s. Fucking suck my dick. They should fucking build a time machine and study me, and then go back and do it better.
Who do you respect? Who do you respect, if anybody? Because I'm struggling. I'm struggling here now.
My mom and my brother. I respect them very much.
I'm talking in the confines of wrestling.
Shawn Michaels, I respect very much.
What about Bret?
Bret who?
Bret Hart.
Oh, Bret Hart, one of the worst professional wrestlers in this entire industry.
Come on, man. No, I've never got in the ring. I'm fan perspective. I totally understand from a performer's standpoint. Bret was fucking incredible in my mind, but you've wrestled. I haven't. I've never got in the ring.
The worst there was, the worst there is, and the worst there ever will be.
I don't believe this.
Swear to God, dude. I have no. Everyone's like, "Oh, Bret Hart." I'm like, what does he do? What did he ever do? A kitchen sink, a hip toss, a shitty little fucking elbow drop. Blow me. He ain't all no goddamn money.
I reckon you preferred Owen.
I mean,
like, stylistically, then I can get what
out of the two, yeah, I would go with Owen because I'm the little brother as well.
You can relate.
So I get it.
You can relate. Yeah, that's cool.
My favorites were the ones like Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, Billy Gunn, Road Dogg, Triple H. The ones that drew money, but not only drew money, that drew my fucking attention. I mean, how many times have you caught yourself watching a Bret Hart match and you're like,
"Oh man, oh no, I can't. I don't agree."
Shut up.
we're gonna agree to disagree here.
This is the best thing he does. This is his selling. He just does that stupid ass tired face. I fucking can't stand Bret Hart.
You're not telling me you didn't enjoy his matches with Mr. Perfect. I can't believe this.
I enjoyed good fucking question, because the first match my coach ever had me watch was fucking SummerSlam, Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect, and I learned a lot from Mr. Perfect. not Bret, dude. I swear to God, I'm not, and I'm not fucking. This is not me fucking joking at all. I learned absolutely nothing from Bret Hart in those matches. I learned everything from Mr. Perfect in those matches.
That's fine.
I still watch Mr. Perfect fucking matches, dude. He's fucking incredible.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
Incredible. He know how to make himself look good and the opponent look better.
Sad end for him. Sad end for that guy, man. It was sad when he passed. We've lost loads. We've lost loads. So that hurt me, because as a kid, I didn't get it when I was younger, when he was the heel. Obviously, when I got a bit older, I realized how good he was. I hated him. Obviously, he was a heel, so he was doing his job. He was doing his job.
Well, that's the thing. That's like how I am. People ask, are you a face or are you a heel? I said, it's not up to me, because when I hit that fucking curtain, there's people that go, man, he reminds me of my ex-boyfriend. I fucking hate him. Or he reminds me of my ex-boyfriend. I fucking love him. Or he reminds me of her ex-boyfriend. I fucking hate him. Or he reminds me of some guy I want to have a beer with. Or he reminds me of some guy I want to dump a beer on his fucking head. My coach, first thing he told me, he goes, you have a cunt face. You have a face that I want to fucking drill one of these into. He's like, he said, when you first start in a business, the best thing to do is to be a face so you can learn how to be a heel. He goes, except for you. He goes, I want to fucking drill one of these in your fucking mouth right now.
My cousin, he said, Stu, I like this guy. Speak some truth here. So he's enjoying the episode, my cousin.
I mean, that's the thing. Like when I say real and raw, August Artois, the real and raw, it's not a fucking gimmick. And I know. Whenever, on a very rare occasion, I have a conversation with anybody in the fucking locker room, this is how I talk too. And if I have a conversation with anybody outside of the business, if you ask anybody who knew me as a kid growing up until now, that doesn't know that I'm a wrestler, and you explained who August Artois was, they'd be like, oh, that reminds me of this kid I went to school with. Me. That's what I'm saying. Like The Rock is just Dwayne Johnson turned up to 11. Mm-hmm. Stone Cold is just Steve Austin turned up to 11. The Undertaker is just Mark Calloway turned up to 11. August Artois is just old Timmy Boy turned up to 11. My name's not fucking August Artois. My mom didn't name me that. She's not a fucking gypsy. That was pretty funny.
An extension of yourself, basically. That's what we're.
My penis is an extension of myself.
Bloody hell! Good job. Good job. We're 18 and over on this podcast.
Oh yeah, I forgot to ask. I also didn't give a.
No, I know you didn't. No, you can. Expletives are plenty on here. We won't bleep you. We won't censor you. We won't do any of that. Oh, real and raw does what it says on the tin.
Yeah.
So there we go. There we have it. August, where can the viewers and listeners find you in terms of the social media? And just run through a couple of bookings that you got coming up as well, again, before we go.
Well, I mean, if your viewers weren't complete morons, they would just type in August Artois on any social media platform, and it's going to pop up. Those people that get on podcasts and they're like, follow me at #the_broadcast_ #3, the number 3, not spelled out, _space 01. Please follow. You can swallow me. I'd rather you swallow me than follow me. But if you want to follow me, type in that fucking name, August Artois, on any social media platform. Don't be a lazy son of a bitch. If you want my merch, go to unforgettablevision. Shut up, damn it. Unforgettablevision.com. It ships straight from the UK. My manufacturer is straight in the UK. Wayne Dennison of Dennison Designs. I'm sorry, not Dennison Designs. Wayne Designs. Wayne Dennison of Wayne Designs. Unforgettable Vision. Check them out. Follow them. It's not just me. We have a full roster. We got guys in the UK like Tim Strange, CJ Rollins, Drew Marshall we got now. Tommy Gunn, I believe is his name. We have a full roster members of an Unforgettable Vision. So you can get my merch first. And if you have any money left over, you can go buy their shit too. Upcoming shows, IWA Puerto Rico. Unfortunately, I'll be in Puerto Rico. That's this Saturday, May 18th. And then, I can't say that one. That one hasn't been announced yet. I don't have them written down. But just go to my social medias, pay attention that way. Follow me, swallow me. You can check out all my dates there, see where I'm going to be. I'll be back in the UK, I believe October, if I feel like coming. I haven't booked it. Nothing's booked yet. There's no fucking flights booked, no hotels booked, no shows booked. Not yet. We'll see. And if I'm coming back, I'll give you a ring and maybe we'll do another episode to let these morons know that I'm coming back.
Well,
maybe they can cook me some better food when I'm coming. What else? Oh yeah, we didn't mention Target Wrestling. You didn't ask me about that.
Say about Target, because obviously it was on the tour, and that's my fault. I apologize.
It's your fault. Of course, it's not my fault. It's your fault. Why would it be my fault? Why would you even say that? Of course, it's your fault. Anyways, Target Wrestling. I teamed up with Lou Nixon, the big Lou Nixon. He's a big deathmatch guy now over there, and he's coming over here. He's been over here in Philly. He was here for WrestleCon and a lot of shows during WrestleMania weekend. Teamed up with him against Rossi Rascal and Tony H, and we ended up losing that battle. He blames me. I blame him. We haven't talked since I left, but hopefully next time I see him, it's in a fucking ring, because I don't deal good with fucking problems and feelings and all that stupid shit. So I'd rather just punch him in the fucking mouth and we'll go from there.
Do it the old-fashioned way, August.
Absolutely.
Do what you gotta do. I'd love to say it was a pleasure.
I like your accent. I can actually understand you.
Well, I thought we were gonna have trouble there because you were struggling with the Scottish accents. I thought the Welsh.
Well, I got yelled at WAW. I got yelled at for talking too fast. That's funny. Well, because to me, I feel like I'm talking in like regular language, and you guys are talking in cursive with your fucking accents and shit. So I went to the bar. I went to the bar in Carlisle, and I was like, "Do you guys have Angry Orchard?" And he's like, "What?" And I was like, "Do you guys have Angry Orchard?" And he's like, "Mate, I can't understand your accent." I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You're the fucking one with the accents."
I've got another question here from my cousin. Get him an Everton top. That's our football soccer team. Get this guy on our footy podcast. I don't think you follow soccer. He'd be great for a full-on rant. There you go.
I like football. It's called football, not soccer. First off,
I thought you might have classed it as soccer. So I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, man. I also call them crisps now too.
Yes, not chips.
It's just, I mean, I really like the fucking sort it out instead of figure it out. Proper, like that's a proper cup of milk, and that's class. There's a lot of fucking sayings in the UK that I really like, and I take it with me.
You're becoming an adopted Brit. I'm finding here. You're taking on our mannerisms and you're saying things. Yeah.
I'm basically a Geordie, because every time I come, I stay in Newcastle, so I'm basically a Geordie now.
Good place to go as well. Good party town. It is very good, if I do say so myself. I've been a few times. So
absolutely, man.
I'm with you on that one, Squire. I'm with you on that one,
Squire.
Yes. Oh yeah. So I'm not doing that. I'm not doing the posh voice. We're not doing that. I'll leave that. My guest for episode 179 of Stu's Wrestling Podcast he's real, he's raw. It's August Artois. Thank you very, very much. It has been a pleasure. I was only joking before. It's been a pleasure having you on the show today.
August Starbar.
Absolutely. I'm gonna get a Starbar later.
Oh yeah, and to everybody in the UK, when I come back, I can defend this again, and I actually put the world in world title.
There we go. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much, sir. Appreciate it.